So, talk to me about how you guys went from being almost a laughingstock to being that team. And what year though did y'all wake people up before the chip?
Honestly, I think people was always woke. I just think they didn't know how long it was gonna take. So I would say sophomore year, when people was like, oh, they serious. We had went to Roosevelt. Shout out all my Roosevelt alum, I love y'all. When we came in there and we needed a W. Like all sophomores, Reek wasn't even playing then because he 2 grades behind us. So he was still in the 8th grade. So when we went to Roosevelt and we beat them, this was like '08, our sophomore year, people started taking us serious. Like, hey, that's a big win right there. Like, cause they still had some killers. They said was still on that team. Littles and them was still there. Velt was still Velt. They had the marching band playing. You know, it's hot in that joint.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to come out there like that was like our opening up party, like a graduation party. We took some L's that year, some tough L's that year. But sophomore year was probably the year people was like started to take us a little bit serious.
So I feel like maybe as soon as you guys people started taking you guys serious, is when is it around the same time where you even stopped playing Gary Schools altogether? Or was that after you guys?
That was a little bit. So when we started playing Gary Schools, we had it was always hard for us to get games because didn't nobody want to play a team full of freshmen and sophomores. So after that sophomore year, after people seen we can compete, you know, they start calling. So after people start calling, especially in this area, it was like, nah, y'all don't want to play us then, so we don't want to play y'all now. And then it was like, you know, sometimes it be about money and politics, where y'all got to come here and play, nah, y'all got to come here. So we had to start getting calls from like out of the state, or Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, South Bend, teams that was ranked. So we just followed that blueprint. Like, it was kind of like the same thing like AAU. You got to play the best, you know what I mean, and be the best.
Right.
So, and then Merv was always looking at recognition too. So for us to get that recognition, we had started traveling a lot. And that was
I tell people, we was freshmen and we played Skylar Diggins.
Yeah, it was serious.
Like,
it was serious.
I played again, and we was the only team to ever get past, like the girls team. It's like, oh, congrats, y'all the first team to ever get past 15. It's like, P. German looking at them like, man, if you don't get out of my face, like.
Oh, I remember walking in, and this one I knew, like, women's hoops was for real. I remember walking in South Bend, Washington, and just looking up and seeing, like, how you walk in Bowman and you see all that, you know, them posters and that. It's the same feel, Skylar Diggins, everything in that, like, hanging everything in there, Skylar Diggins. I'm like, this is crazy.
Like, it give you chills.
Yeah, like, who is this chick? And you in high school, so you don't really know, but you looking around, and then years later, you seeing the WNBA.
Famous.
Right down the street, though.
Exactly.
Get you them
somebody that
quick.
you was right next to.